Hey, I'm Rob from JestaThaRogue.com and I'm going to show you how to play City of the Great Machine. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, plays in about 90 minutes and is published by Crowd Games. Thank you to Crowd Games for providing me a copy of this game, but I was not paid to produce any content. In the City of the Great Machine, one player plays as the Great Machine. They will try and complete their master plan while also trying to crush the growing uprising in their city. The other players are revolutionaries, revolting and rioting to try and overthrow the regime of the Great Machine. The side that completes the goal first will win the game. The dictionary defines revolting as finding this video useful and not hitting like or pressing subscribe, so you better go and do that. The Great Machine demands it. To set up the map and get into the gameplay as quickly as possible, simply use one of the setups shown on page 10 of the reference guide. Place the district tiles accordingly. There are more rules for advanced ways of setting up the board on page 9 of the reference guide. Now you know what the board looks like. For this video, I'll only be using the tiles needed for the examples to keep us focused on what we're talking about. Shuffle the citizen tiles face down, those with the square bit missing. Put one face down on each square with a blue dot on each district tile, making sure to rotate them to cover the green dot. Put the 3 leftover face down near the board. They start the game arrested. Put 2 orange guard meeples on any 2 boxes on the left of every district tile. One player will play as the Great Machine, and 1, 2 and 3 other players will play as the heroes. These are called revolutionaries. There are 3 heroes in every game, so if there is 1 revolutionary, they play all 3. 3 revolutionaries play 1 each, or 2 revolutionaries split them 2 and 1. Put the progress board within reach of all players. Point the master plan pointer to 3 for the first game, 2 for future games, and 1 if the Great Machine player is much more experienced than the other players. Move the discontent pointer over the number of players controlling the heroes. So if there are 2 revolutionaries, move it to cover the point marked with 2 icons. Put the Countdown City event card next to the progress board face down. Shuffle the City Event 2 cards, randomly pick 6 and put them face down on top of the Countdown City event. Shuffle the City Event 1 cards, pick 6 at random again and put them on top of the City Event 2 cards. And return the rest of the City Event cards to the box without looking. Put the riot tokens, assault die, escape die and bond and trust tokens near the board. To start setup for the Great Machine, put the 3 dark colour servant miniatures on the Great Citadel tile. Shuffle the directive deck and place it face down. Take the Great Machine reference card, the 3 raid tokens and the 3 servant order tokens. The Great Machine player is to be called the Great Machine for the entire game. Each revolutionary takes a hero mini, their oversized card and 9 matching mini access cards. Put the mini in the location shown on the left of the 2 symbols on the bottom of the hero card. For example, Vega has a drama mass symbol, so we'll start in the art district. Each hero randomly discards one of their access cards from their hand near the progress board face down. These are known as forfeited cards. Revolutionaries can look at these at any time, the Great Machine cannot. Revolutionaries take the hero action helper cards. Revolutionaries are called either revolutionary or by their character name for the entire game. A round is played over 5 phases, but first a couple of rules. Revolutionary communication must be done in front of the Great Machine, and any hand signals and anything visual must be done within the Great Machine's field of view. They may secretly show one another their access cards and may view any identified citizens, but more on that shortly. This is the discontent track. There are 18 spaces and the discontent marker will rise and fall throughout the game. Once it reaches the end, then it is at the riot stage. It will stay at that stage for the rest of the game. On to gameplay, and we start phase 1, the opening phase, by revealing a new city event card. Turn over the top card of the city deck. Only the top card is active. If the countdown card is ever drawn, it stays in play each round once revealed. Effects that say during this round affect phases 1 to 4 of the game. It doesn't always affect all of them, but will be used somewhere within that range of phases. Those that say at the end of this round will be checked in phase 5. I'll give a specific example when we get to it. Finally, any the master plan advances if condition is checked in phase 3. Again, I'll give an example when we look at that step. After resolving the top card of the city deck, players will receive their trusts and bonds. The Great Machine receives bonds in the section of the discontent pointer. For example, in the first round, the discontent marker will be in that first section, so the Great Machine will gain 6 bonds. The Great Machine can hold an unlimited number of bonds. Each citizen provides 1 trust shared with the heroes in their district. For example, there are 4 citizens in this district and 2 heroes, so the 2 heroes get 2 trust each. But a citizen will provide 2 trust if they are revealed and active. Revealed means the citizen is face up in the district. More on how to do that later. A citizen is active if they are on or below the current stage of discontent. For example, when discontent reaches stage 1, these citizens, the artists, will become active. The maximum trust a hero could hold is shown in the bottom right of the player's card. Phase 2 is access phase. Each revolutionary will choose an access card from their hand and play it face down. The district shown on the placed access card is called the designation district. Remember, revolutionaries can look at each other's access cards, including the forfeited ones, at any time. Once all players have picked, they tell the Great Machine that they have finished and now they cannot change that card. Phase 3 is the Great Machine phase. This is where the Great Machine can spend bonds to take actions. Let's look at moving servants and guards. They can move a card by paying 1 bond per district, ending their movement in an open guard square. Moving a servant costs 2 bonds per district they exit, and they move on the tiles themselves. Servants can move as many times as they like before taking an action, but once a servant takes an action, they can't move again this round. They can only take 1 action. Flip the relevant servant order token face down after activating as a reminder of which servants have acted this round. There are 3 standard actions that can be performed in any district. These actions cost 2 bonds each. Arrest. Move a revealed and active citizen to the arrested section off the board. Repair. Guards can be broken, more on that in the heroes phase, but a servant can repair 1 guard in their district and stand it back upright. Raid. Place a raid token in the district with the hope of capturing a hero if they end their movement in that district. Okay, let's look at the special actions. They also cost 2 bonds each, except the central square, which is free. Grand Citadel. Draw a directive card from the deck. The Great Machine has no hand limit. The directive deck never reshuffles, and if the directive deck is out of cards, the Great Machine cannot take this action. The revolutionaries can always ask the Great Machine how many cards they have in hand. Tower of Law. Publish a directive by playing one from their hand face up to the table and read it out loud. These cards have abilities that will help the Great Machine. The Great Machine can only have 3 in play and can replace existing ones by returning 1 in play to their hand. Control Nexus. Reposition a district with everything on it. The district may be rotated when repositioning. This district must have one side free to move, so you must be able to slide it out of the city. All districts must connect with at least 2 sides and must connect to at least 2 other districts after repositioning. There is a reminder of the repositioning rules on the back of the game round card. The central square special action is free to play. The Great Machine will gain 1 bond for each citizen minus the number of guards in the central square. For example, there are 4 citizens and 2 guards, means the Great Machine will gain 2 bonds. Revealed traitors are counted as citizens, but broken guards do not count as guards. The Great Machine will declare when their turn ends, and the revolutionaries will start their phase. The revolutionaries fully complete their turn in initiative order shown at the top right of their card from the lowest to highest. A hero turn is in 2 parts, movement and action. Movement starts with the hero revealing their played access cards and they must move to that district. For each district a hero leaves, they must pay 1 trust per working guard in that district. For example, this district has 3 guards, but one of them is broken, so leaving this district will cost 2 trust as there are 2 working guards. If they do not have enough trust to get to their designation district, they pay all the trust they have and roll the escape die for each district they cannot afford, 1 at a time. If a running person is rolled, they move to the next district. If they roll handcuffs, they are detained. We'll look at being detained shortly. If the hero's designation district contains a raid token, they are detained after moving. This includes if they play an access card for the district they're currently in, so they're not going to move. There's a raid token in that district, they will be detained. Detained or not, heroes will always end movement in the designation district. If the hero is not detained, they return the designation card to their hand. Okay, being detained. A hero can only be detained once per round, and with each detainment, the Great Machine has 2 options. The first is to advance the master plan by 1, then the hero counts as being detained for effects but has no other penalty this round. Or the second option is that the hero cannot take their action this turn and are given one of 2 punitive measures. The first of those is no trust. The hero flips all of their trust over and gives it to the Great Machine as bonds. The second is no access. The access card the hero played this round is forfeited and is placed with the other forfeited access cards. Assuming the hero was not given the punitive measure of no action, of course, after moving, a hero will be able to take an action of the district they're in. The first action is incitement, which can be performed in minor districts only as shown on the access card. It costs 1 trust per guard in that minor district to increase discontent by 1 step. There are a few standard actions that can be performed in any district. These are not shown on the access card. The first of these is attack a guard. Pay any amount of trust first, then roll the assault die. If you paid the amount shown on the die or more, the guard is broken. Lay it down. Broken guards take up space but do not count for anything until they are repaired. If the hero paid less than the number shown or the shield is rolled, the attack fails and no further action is required. The second action is to identify citizens. Pay 1 trust per guard in the district for each citizen you identify. For example, there are 2 guards in this district, and if you want to identify 3 citizens, you need to pay 6 trust. Secretly check a civilian and put it back with the green dot showing to show that this citizen is identified. And the hero must pay the upfront cost for looking at any of these citizens before they look at any. The second action is to move citizens from the hero's district through other districts, but there is no need to pay for guards, just pay 1 trust per district exited. And any number of citizens can be moved from the hero's district during this action. There must be space for citizens on the final movement tile, but they can move through full tiles. Citizens stay in their same status after moving, be identified, revealed, etc. Another action is to gain 1 trust. That's it, just gain a trust. The final standard action is to start a riot. Pay 1 trust per guard per unidentified citizen in the district. For example, this district has 2 guards and 2 unidentified citizens, so they need to pay 4 trust. If all citizens in a district are identified, you don't have to pay anything. Reveal all unrevealed citizens in the district. Active citizens join the riot. Remember, a citizen is active if they are on or below the current stage of discontent. Traitors and guards in the district join the Great Machine. If there are more active citizens than guards and traitors, the riot succeeds. Place a riot token in that district and break all of the guards. The heroes cannot riot in this district again. If the riot fails, advance the master plan and the Great Machine can arrest any and all active citizens in that district. Okay, let's look at the hero special actions. They cost 1 trust per guard in the relevant district, except for the control nexus, which is free. Central District Square. Raise discontent by 1 for each citizen more than guards in this district. For example, here we have 3 citizens and 2 guards, so discontent will rise by 1. Revealed traitors and broken guards do not count on either side. Control Nexus. Reposition a district using the same rules to reposition as the Great Machine. Or any hero receives 3 trust. Both of these are free actions. Tower of Law. Cancel a published directive. Discard it to the directive discard pile, so any one hero retrieves a forfeited access card back from their hand. Finally, the Grand Citadel. Discard an unpublished directive, look through the Great Machine's hand of directives cards and discard one. Randomly pick an arrested citizen. View it, return it as identified to a free space in any district. After the final hero has taken their action, we go to the closing phase, which is also known as end of round or round's end. Remove failed raid tokens from the board and increase discontent by 1 for each. If discontent is in the riot stage, the closest hero to that district identifies a citizen in that district for no cost. For ties, the hero with the lowest initiative will pick. Perform end of round actions only on the city event card. For example, on the oppression and opposition card, the Great Machine receives 1 bond for each servant in a minor district. Finally, perform any advance the master plan actions on the city event cards. For example, on that same card, if no hero took a special action in the major district during this round, the master plan will advance 1 space. Then start a new round. If there are ever 3 successful riots in 3 districts, the heroes win immediately. If there are 2 successful riots in 2 districts and the discontent is at the riot stage, the heroes win immediately. If the master plan ever gets to 12, the Great Machine wins immediately. Finally, if one hero ever runs out of access cards in hand, the Great Machine wins immediately. And that's how you play City of the Great Machine. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when a new video goes live. You can follow me on Insta, Twitch and YouTube at JestaThaRogue and find the blog at JestaThaRogue.com. I've been Rob aka JestaThaRogue and I'll see you soon.